My name is Alice Ndong. I'm a nutrition and dietetic consultant, and we are going to be talking about nutrition and your health. In my 7 years of studying nutrition and about 10 years of experience, I have learned that nutrition is very important for your health, and there are just some little mistakes that we make when it comes to eating that actually affect and worsen situations. So we will discuss in this session how you can eat healthy. We will identify the common mistakes that we make so that you don't do those again. We will discuss the consequences of poor nutrition, and then we will give you a solution to what you can do. We will make them simple and easy. What is eating healthy? Eating healthy, you hear everybody says eating healthy, having a balanced diet. Well, eating healthy involves a lot of things. If we just look at having a balanced diet, it means you have to eat 3 meals a day. They must contain common micronutrients, which means to have a balanced diet. And to make it simple, a balanced diet will just mean that when you're eating, does your plate look like this? Vegetables? Is there starch? Is there protein? I think we all remember this from school. We eat for bodybuilding purposes and repair. We eat for energy, and we eat for protective reasons. So what that means is that we have to eat everything. We have to eat fruits and vegetables for protective purposes. We have to eat proteins for development and repair. And we also have to take fat and starch for energy. The question is, where do we go wrong? Because we all eat all these things every single day. The problem is we eat large portions of many things. Some people, maybe not everybody. We eat maybe too much fat in our diet, we eat too much animal protein, or we eat too much fruit, or we eat too much starch. If we can just take an example, where is too much fat? If you take foods which are fried, for example, if you take French fries, okay? A plate of chips and French fries, this is how much fat you're going to get from just a plate of chips, which is about equivalent to that. Okay, that is definitely a lot of fat. I'm not saying chips is bad. Occasionally you can have it, but when you have it regularly, you can see if you have it every day, like some people have a habit of doing that, then it means you're going to be having, for 1 week, you're going to be having this much fat, which I think is quite a bit of fat. And if you have that every day, every week, don't you think we're going to, of course, end up with a problem? Something else that people don't realize that we also take too much is sugar. And you can take sugar in many ways. Sometimes we take a lot of tea with a lot of sugar. We take 2 teaspoons of sugar. We take 4 or 5 cups of tea in a day. That's a lot of sugar. It can actually end up being a glass of sugar. But most commonly, especially among young people, teenagers, we take too much sugar in our soft drinks. You know, the soft fizzy drinks. For example, this is how much sugar you're going to get in a soda. This is just 10 teaspoons of sugar in one 300 ml soda. So it means that if you're taking so many sodas, even 500 ml, you're taking a lot of sugar. And in 1 week, it means you're going to be taking about this much sugar. So this is quite a lot of sugar, definitely. So imagine you're taking a plate of chips every day and you're taking a soda every day. Don't you think that's a bit much? You're taking this much fat every week and you're taking this much sugar every week. That is definitely going to be a problem. Something else that I found that people take a lot is also animal protein, meat. People take too much meat in their diet. Different countries have different cultures where they just consume excess meat. This is how much meat you need to have in a meal. It should be equivalent to your palm size, the steak. So ideally it's about this much, but probably you find that taller people, bigger people, or males and females will have slightly different. But what happens is people will go in a place and order half a kilo of meat for one person, or 1 kilo of meat between 2 people, or 1.5 kilos of meat. And so you end up having a large plate of meat. That is not good, definitely, because your body, let's say you're an adult, you're just repairing, you need very little. So if you take half a kilo of meat, you're going to increase the waste from protein, which is called nitrogenous waste, is going to be very high. then your kidney will go into a hyperfiltration rate to try and excrete this. So if your kidney is always in a hyperfiltration rate, you can easily get a kidney scar. And once you get a kidney scar, that is going to affect your blood pressure. And once your blood pressure is high and you don't control how much protein you still eat, your kidney will get damaged further. So it is very, very dangerous to eat a lot of meat. Alcohol is not bad. In fact, alcohol has a benefit. But the benefit is not so much that I can tell people who do not drink to start drinking. But if you take one beer every day, you take a glass of wine every day, or you take 1 or 2 shots of whiskey every day, or brandy, that's not bad. But if you sit down and take 10 beers, and take a half a liter of hard drinks, the brandies and the whiskeys, that is too much alcohol. Long-term effects of alcohol includes cancer of the gastrointestinal system, includes liver cirrhosis, includes pancreatitis, so you can actually end up being diabetic, includes hardening of your arteries called cardiomyopathy. Breast cancer is also associated with excess alcohol intake. Stroke and hypertension can be caused by excess alcohol intake. So we should not sit down and have 10 beers or 20 beers. It is better to take small quantities regularly than take so much in one sitting. People don't take enough fruit and vegetables. I like a statement that one of these agricultural companies came up with, and it says, real men don't eat vegetables until they get diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and simply die. So why is it that men are associated with not taking vegetables and fruits? Because also it's been found that the most colon cancer is very, very common in men. And that's actually associated with low fruit and vegetable intake. But it's not only men who don't take fruits. I have found that also women don't take fruits and children don't take fruits. Women will make sure there's fruit for their families and forget themselves. Children don't like to eat fruits. Most of the time you find that children are eating junk food. They'd rather eat the chips and the sausages. They'd rather eat biscuits and cakes rather than eat fruit and vegetables. And it's always a fight to eat vegetables with children. If you find many people will complain that, oh, my children don't eat enough fruit, oh, my children are not eating enough vegetables. But most of the time you'll find that when a child is sick or an adult is sick in hospital and they're brought for fruits and vegetables, they will take it. So why is it that we have to wait to be in hospital to take fruits and vegetables? Why? It should be part of your daily intake. When people serve their plates, and this is commonly, many people, they will serve rice and fill the plate with rice. Then they will either serve beef stew or meat stew or anything else, and then they put a little bit of vegetables. That's very common. But ideally, this is how your plate should look like. Half of your plate should be vegetables. Then the other quarter, your starch and your protein. Your meat or your beans are the proteins. If your plate is full of just starch and protein, then we cannot even say that you're eating a balanced meal, neither are you having a balanced diet. So for it to balance, we must have enough vegetables on that plate, and it should be half. However, most people, when we do plan a meal for a client or a patient, then it will differ accordingly. But this will just be the general adult recommendations. The needs may differ, so you still may need to go see a nutritionist to give you a plan that suits your total energy requirement. Children just run to school without eating breakfast. Adults go to work without eating breakfast. It has been shown and found by researchers that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Let's reason logically. You're going to work in the morning, you need more energy. In the evening, you're coming home to sleep. You need less energy. So what happens if you leave the house without eating anything. Your brain needs ready glucose for energy, ready glucose from food. So if you've not eaten anything, it means that you don't have energy for your brain to use. So the brain is going to end up using a stress hormone for energy. At the end of the day, you're going to feel very tired and you're definitely going to have a headache. For people who get migraines, that's the time you're going to get it. So if you don't eat breakfast, and it's been found that children who don't eat breakfast cannot actually perform very well in school, they cannot handle complex mathematics, and it's documented. You can ask us for references to give you. Just by skipping breakfast, you can actually create yourself a lot of things. You've said you can get headaches and migraines. For those who have migraines, you get very, very tired at the end of the day. And just skipping breakfast and probably staying longer hours without food, you also end up getting digestive problems where you get hyperacidity, you get gas, and you can even get constipation, because if it means you're skipping breakfast, it means you're not going to meet your total energy requirement or just meet your vegetable and fruit intake for the day. And just skipping breakfast alone also creates a lot of bad habits. If you skip breakfast, at snack time, you'll be definitely very hungry. It gives you room to eat junk food and anything that comes along. If somebody comes with a plate of chips, and you know how much fat there is in a plate of chips, if somebody gives you a soda, about 10 to 13 teaspoons of sugar, you're going to take the soda. If you're given a sausage, and a sausage has got 25 grams of fat, each of these test tubes has 5 grams of fat. So that means 5 of them will be in one sausage. So you're going to eat it. So ideally, when you're hungry, you are more likely to get involved in bad eating habits and eat more junk food rather than think and eat a quality meal. You can see this is what you can just get from eating a plate of chips, a sausage, and a soda. And you can easily do that when you're very hungry. Yes, you may eat breakfast, 2 slices of bread and a cup of tea, or a small tiny bowl of cereal, and you go. Well, that's not too bad. You ate something, but then you end up skipping meals and not eating anything the whole day. That's a common habit, especially for people in corporate and especially for top managers. And I've seen that. You take nothing for breakfast or very little. You're in meetings, you take coffee, coffee. So you wait and come home in the evening and eat a large meal. That is also wrong, because you have not had enough fruit, you will not have enough vegetable, you will not have enough energy intake for the day. The one meal that you're going to eat in the evening may be large, but even if you divide it into 3 meals a day, it's not going to be enough. Now the problem here will be you're eating too much at the wrong time, and this is definitely going to interfere with your sleep and rest. Remember, in the evening, you need to eat small portion because you're going to sleep. But if you skip meals the whole day, when you come home in the evening, you'll tend to have a large portion because you're very hungry. But when you eat a large portion in the evening, the problem there would be the amount of meat or amount of animal protein that you will have. At night, when you go to sleep, your body needs to rest. And during rest, when the body is at total rest, the body produces hormones for repair and growth. This only happens when the body is at total rest. When you eat your large portion of food, especially your animal protein, it is going to be digested up to 7 to 8 hours. So it means that 7 to 8 hours in the night, you're digesting. The body is not resting, so it is not producing hormones for repair and growth. When you wake up in the morning, you will be tired because you're not well rested. Then you have to go to work, and the children have to go to school. Don't you think it is a lot of stress and pressure on everybody? And of course, your stress levels will be high because there are also the normal pressures of the day. So it is important to eat your small portion in the evening and your large portion for breakfast. Depending on where you come from, you find that most people will probably just eat carrots and spinach as their main vegetables, or they eat cabbage as their main vegetables, or they eat just potatoes as their main starch, or they eat chapati or naan or ugali. So just the same thing every day. What happens is every food, there's so many variety of nutrients in all the foods. There are phytochemicals in all foods. So it is important to eat a variety. If we just take the example of an orange and a banana, the banana gives you potassium, very important for your blood pressure control, very important for your electrolyte balance. The orange, on the other hand, is going to give you vitamin C, which is very, very important for healing and your immune system. So you can't just eat banana. You can't just eat the orange only. You need to eat a variety of fruits. And that was just an example. When it comes to vegetables, yes, there is all this, information going around. Yes, carrot is going to protect you from cancer, or spinach juice is good for you. But all vegetables are good for you. And if you make a variety, it will be good for you, because you can't just take carrots every day. Neither can you just take spinach juice every day. You need to have a variety of these foods. So please, you need to analyze yourself. Keep a food and activity diary for a week. Find out breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. Record everything you eat for a week and then analyze that. Am I eating the same thing every day? Am I eating tea and bread every day, or am I eating just cereal every day for breakfast? So it is important to eat a variety of food. Are you taking enough water? Well, I take a lot of water every day because water is very important for you. Have you ever wondered why you really must take water? Because that's what many people think. I take a lot of tea, so I don't need to take water. I take a lot of coffee, I don't need to take water. I take a lot of juice, I don't need to take water. That's what everybody says. But you actually need quality water. Quality water means it needs to be clear water, not juice, or not caffeine. Anything with caffeine is a diuretic, so it makes you actually lose fluid. Why do you need water? Water is used for circulation. Water is used for transportation of nutrients. Water is used to help your organs to excrete waste efficiently. So you need water for your kidney to function very well. During the day, we lose a lot of water. We lose water through our skin. We lose water through sweating. And if you sit in a room that's lit the whole day, you sit in a room that has a fan the whole day, air conditioning, those are things that cause dehydration. There are some studies that associated certain cancers to dehydration. So you need to have enough water. Water would definitely be recommended according to your age and according to your weight. Ideally, most literature say between 6 to 8 glasses of water. That's about 1.5 to 2 liters of water. But really the needs differ. There are some conditions that require a fluid restriction, so you cannot take as much water. When you're above age 55, your kidneys are not as efficient. Also, there are